There's a lot of fear and uncertainty with what's happening in AI, around the markets, around the uncertainty of leadership around the world, around things shifting around the world, around money changing from physical money to digital currencies, and just the uncertainty of it all. And I heard you say recently that 2026 might be the last time to build wealth fast. And I'm curious, why do you think the window is closing for people to start generating more wealth quicker? And what happens to people if they actually miss out on this window?
We are going through right now what the World Economic Forum calls the fifth industrial revolution. So if we take a look at our economy, global economy over the last few years, we've gone through a few different industrial revolutions. The first one, you take a look at factories being built, the 1700s. Then you go into the 1800s and you hear about electricity and mass production. Then we get into the late 1900s, and now we get into the digital revolution. Internet starts to become more popular. Then we get into the early 2000s, and now we get into the next stage, Industrial Revolution number 4, which is smart technologies. So now we have things like Uber and Facebook and all these other technologies that people are now integrating into their lives, because now I just shop on Amazon instead of going to the store.
Convenience things.
Convenience. Yeah. And now we're entering Industrial Revolution number 5, which is the convergence of humans and technology. And this one, the reason why it's so important is because every industrial revolution, not only is it getting shorter, but they're having a bigger and bigger impact on our economy. Because if we go back and we think about how the internet has changed the economy, everybody can tell you that the internet changed our economy, but it took years, more than a decade, to really see the impact of the internet. I mean, it started in the early 90s, and I mean, you remember AOL in the 90s, dial-up, and then it slowly started to be adopted. We had the 2000 dot-com bubble boom and bust, and then everybody in 2000/2001 thought this internet thing is just a fad. It's not actually going to last. So we're talking about 90s until like the early to mid 2000s before people actually realized this internet thing is worthwhile for us to consider as a business.
Even in like 2008, 2009, 2010, when kind of Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook started to become more popular, so many people said it's a fad. And this was 15 years ago.
And you think about now Circuit City, you think about Blockbuster, you think about all these chains that were Sears, that were massive, but they relied not on the internet. They thought the internet is not going to take them over, but it took decades for them to really feel the impact. Fast forward to today. ChatGPT was created in 2022, just a few years ago. And between 2022 to 2026, the adoption of AI has been so much faster than the internet. But the impact that AI is going to have on humans and our economy is going to be vastly more different than the internet. And the people that understand this can get ahead of the shift and build wealth. Because let's just go back to the internet. Imagine now, let's go back in time a little bit. Imagine if you're starting a YouTube channel, not in 2015, but 2005. Imagine the headway that you would have had. Imagine if you started a YouTube channel in 2015 as opposed to 2025 or 2026. Imagine the headway that you would have had. Imagine if you knew, maybe I should be investing in some of these digital companies back in 2015 or 2005. Well, here we are in 2026, and we're just scratching the surface. We know today that Google leads the whole search engine, right? Do you remember there used to be Ask Jeeves? There was Yahoo, there was AOL, there was MSN. We didn't know who was going to win. Google won that race. When it comes to searching an AI, there's no winner. I don't know if it's going to be ChatGPT. Is it going to be Claude? Is it going to be Gemini? And they're fighting for that. And that is just the top layer of, I call it an onion, because as investors, you want to look at opportunities like an onion. That is just the top layer of the onion. And when people think about AI, they say, Jaspreet, are you serious? AI is so stupid. I told it to create me a blog post, and it was completely wrong. I wanted it to do a deep dive on Lewis Howes, and it talked about some other random podcaster. It's so stupid. But let me ask you a question. If you saw a 2-year-old trying to run and you saw it fall down, are you going to say it's stupid? No, you're going to say it's a toddler learning to walk, learning to run. That's AI today. It's learning to run. It is going to sprint. The people that understand it are going to be able to take advantage of that sprint, build wealth because of it, create job security because of it, while everybody else, because the human brain cannot evolve as fast as our technology is evolving, they're going to fall behind. Now, that creates concerns, but what I'm trying to say and emphasize is, look, this creates opportunities for the financially savvy. And I'm telling you this, the reason why I made so much content about this is because I went through a oh crap moment in 2025. So last time we talked, I would talk about my company, Briefs Media. We, as a media company, focused on two things: financial news, financial research. And that's what we did. We published our Market Briefs newsletter every day. We published our news articles on our website. Then we'd publish our investment research reports for investors. In 2025, I started to hear more and more about AI. And I was messing around with it more and more. And I had that oh crap moment when I realized if AI keeps getting smarter, we are not going to have a job anymore. We're going to be out of business by 2035.
Wow.
And so now and I didn't tell my employees this. I'm in my own desk. I'm going through my own stuff and I'm realizing we're on the verge of being bankrupt. And then I started getting more adept with AI because I'm not the most tech savvy person. And I said, oh my God, it's not going to be 2035. We're going to be bankrupt in 5 years. 2030, our company is done. Everybody's going to be out of a job, including me. So I went on a hunt with very little sleep, and I realized that we needed to make a change. And so I'm telling you a true story here that midway through 2025, we had a company all hands meeting that we flew all of our contractors into our office as well. And I started the meeting by saying, I have some news I must tell you. Because of AI, we're on the verge of being bankrupt by 2035. Then I said, but I was wrong. And everyone said, oh, okay. Then I drew a line through it and it was, we're about to be bankrupt by 2030.
Wow.
And I said, this is why we're going to change. We're no longer going to be Briefs Media. We are now Briefs Finance. And that means now we're going to shift from just being a media company to a financial technology company that's powered by media. So we've been building this software, this tool that now our media can power, because the only way that now we can compete is if we utilize this new technology. And I'm telling you this because I went through that. And so as soon as this happened, we went out and hired 7 developers. We poured so much money, so much energy, so much time. I mean, we have a whole team. We shifted our entire focus essentially overnight, because if we didn't, we would be trying to compete against how fast AI is growing. And we can't do that. If I wanted to have human writers compete against AI writers, the human writers are going to win today. But the AI writers can be faster and they can learn better and they don't need time off. And they can do it for a fraction of the cost. We're talking pennies. And so that was my shift of realizing we have to make a change. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean you have to start a business, but it means you have to understand that this is happening and see how you can use it in your life. If you have a business, learn how to use AI in your business. If you are an investor, see how you can invest. Now, you don't have to go and invest into AI, like into OpenAI or into Anthropic. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to understand, we could talk about this later, the onion of technology.
Yes.
Or if you work a job, learn how to be more productive, because it's not that AI is going to take your job yet. But your company might replace you with somebody who knows AI better than you.
Yes.
Because the person that knows AI can do more work and be more productive. And I'll tell you this as somebody who's a CEO, what AI means, when you hear the news talking about people want more productivity, what that means in plain English is companies within 5 years are going to expect every individual person to do the same task that 10 people are doing today.
At least 10.
At
Maybe
least.
not 100. Why can't you have a one person doing the task of 100 people with the right AI facilitation, prompting, and understanding and awareness?
And that's where productivity is. So when you hear that, oh, companies are trying to be more efficient, more productive, that's exactly what it means, is that if you cannot do the job of what 10 people do today, you are going to have a really hard time finding a job
You
or keeping
are.
a job.
You are. And you think that's going to happen in the next 4 to 5 years?
We are in 2026 at the time we're recording this video. ChatGPT launched in the end of 2022. So we're talking, it's only been a few years. The next 3 years are not only going to be further than we were 3 years ago, but they accelerate faster.
Yes.
Because technology expands like this. It's not a linear curve. It goes up like this. It's the hockey stick curve,
Yes.
which means it gets smarter, even faster. So the next 3 years are going to be exponentially faster and more advanced than 3 years ago. Because 3 years ago, it was, hey, ChatGPT, I want to build a guacamole recipe. What should I do?
Yeah.
And now it's getting more and more advanced every single day, because the goal, and this is not me saying this, you can listen to what the CEO of ChatGPT said. You can listen to what the CEO of Mark Zuckerberg said. This is public. The goal isn't AI, it's AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, which is not me saying, hey, give me the guacamole recipe. It's build me the guacamole company. It'll go out,
Wow.
open the LLC. It'll go out, rent you a place to build it.
Build a
It'll go out,
website, do
it all for you. That's what the ultimate goal is that now we talk about being able to do more stuff with one human. It's just being able to now know how to manage the AI agents and how to manage these types of prompts. And that's going to be the shift between the people that understand how to take advantage of it or not.
Wow.
And again, I'm going to say this because it sounds scary, but anybody can take advantage of it, even as an investor, once you start to understand what this means and how you can use it for yourself.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy this and you want more inspirational content, make sure to click the subscribe button below and click right here to watch what's coming next.